What's up, guys? It's Black and back with part 8 of Combined Arms in review. This is the final games against Strongberg, and we'll just jump right into it. Alright, so we're back here for game 3. I ran him as Russia again. He picked Russia. We are on the Ruined Kingdom, so we are on the rush map. The spawn distances are super short, so that's kind of what I'm expecting him to do, is just try to do some sort of rush here. Build that kennel again, because dogs are super good. I always want to get them out, especially on this map. You can just use that dog to eat an engineer or just scout exactly where your opponent's army is. And then I'm going to be cheeky and just try to get and block one of his engineers down on the bottom. So queue up 5 rifles there. Got my dog down there too. And that should be enough. I only need the one dog here. You know, as long as I have good control. If I have back control, then it is what it is. Build a 6 rifle just so I have one rifle sitting by my other, just in case he's trying to do something similar. And running down the dog right now, I don't see much of anything, so I'm just gonna rally it up, send him to get there. And I think I see a little pip there. I think that was his dog as well, so run a little fast. Unfortunately, I'm a little careless and I get distracted down here and I eat my own guy up there, but that's alright. I'm killing his rifles and denying him that. And also a little slow on placing the rifle, that's okay. So I push through on the bottom, so at least for now I'm denying him that. And I got my dog right there in the middle, and that'll be more than enough vision to see if he's there. Yep, I do see something, so I'll just block that engineer for now, get those rifles up there, and it should be okay to push in. Yeah, and just keep pushing down on this one since, you know, he's not pushing it yet, so maybe I can get away with 3 ORA. That'd be really great. Unfortunately, I'm spending a little too much right now, and I'm broke, but not much I can do about it. It's already been broke, so. There's a dog. He gets a rifle, but I kill the dog. Not the best trade in the world, but I'll get that ORA, which will be nice. That'll give me some more eco, which I badly need. Place that ref down, and go straight into that 3rd ref, and then go straight into double rack, so the triple ref, double racks build's coming back, but that makes a lot of sense on this map. I feel like you really want the extra production really quickly. Have that dog run on my soldier this time. This time I'm smart. Place the stop command, don't get distracted. Then I'm just gonna leave that dog there just in case he's doing like the early infantry move out. Unfortunately, he has a dog and it gets my engineer, but you know, that's okay. I got my 2 ORA. He still has not captured his ORA on the bottom, so I'll be able to push. He finally starts to push there, but you know, I've got a decent number of infantry, so got some reinforcements coming in. I think I can get away with it. Sell that ref off that I don't need. Get really lucky that my dog ate his dog in the dog versus dog fight. And yeah, he's still pushing in, but he's got a lot of infantry there, so I'm just gonna try to trade out as best I can, save what little I can, and just try to keep that dog running around, see if I can get an engineer. See that he indeed is pumping out a ton of infantry, so won't be able to do anything. Get a flame tower ready just in case he decides to push. Cancel some of those rockets and queue up more rifles, because if he pushes with just rifles now, I'd be in a lot of trouble. Got that 2nd racks. Start queuing up a few rifles, then some stuff like that, and then I decide, you know what, I'm just gonna quickly move out. Not even gonna build a war factory just because I know the eco on this map can run dry rather quickly. So get that expansion, get that war factory up afterwards, and I should be in much better position. Can still kind of place defenses up near my top too, so that'll be nice. So I'll be able to control like 2 spots to the 1 if he starts pushing. Build that flower just towards the gems, just in case I want to go there eventually. I shouldn't need to. The gems are kind of a trap, but you know, at some point it is nice just to have a extra. What is it, like $1,200 you get out of gems? So my 2 racks, I'm pumping up a ton of infantry. Don't have any armor, but again, if he attacks, maybe I'll have a defensive structure. Unless he attacks like directly on my refineries, that would be pretty suck, but he'd have to scout that to know that. I'm just kind of chilling, macroing, sending that engineer on a long run. Chances are he's not left anything there, which would be nice. So chances are he hasn't even captured it yet. Got that flame tower queued up just in case he did push on with that BTR. I'm ready for it. Yeah, other than that, it's just a game of who's going to attack first. And he makes the critical mistake of crushing those balls. So I decided that instead of going heavy tanks for this, I want a bunch of BTRs. Heavy tanks would be really good at killing BTRs, but BTRs will also kill the infantry too, so if I can just snipe out the rockets, then the heavy tanks will just be kind of useless for him, and I'll just be able to run through. As soon as his heavy tank's done, I'll be able to kill all his infantry. Since I'm doing 2 to 1 for the most part as well, I should be able to run through those heavy tanks really quickly. Not sure why he decided not to kill my old Eric there. He got down to half health and just retreated. Maybe as a ninja or something coming, but kind of weird. He's crushing walls again, so just seeing him and kind of both running into the same there. He's got a lot of infantry here, but again, my BTR was in the front. His heavy tanks were a little bit slower, and again, since I have so many rockets, his heavy tanks go down. But I'm definitely losing a lot here, and he's got a lot more. So it's kind of dicey. Keep a few more rifles into my mix, because I'm going to need them. Yeah, he's pushing through. He managed to kill all my stuff. I don't think he really has enough. There's only 2 rockets that I can see, and BTR should be able to deal with that amount. Another heavy tank, make sure the rockets start targeting on that, and then target out his rockets with my BTR, so this is kind of what I'm talking about. Like, he's just shooting on my BTRs with his stuff. His heavy tank's down, and that's going to give me all the pushing power I need to keep pushing through. And I'm able to repel that attack, and I think part of that's just due to the micro, and part of that's just due to BTRs. And you basically get 2 for every 1 heavy tank too, so it's a little bit of that light tank versus medium tank play you see with the pre-ref build. But that last rifle, see that he's in need, just trying to push through my main again, so I'm more than happy to sit there. Like, I'm stalling a little bit, but doing okay. I'm gonna allow him back into my vision so I can get a good angle on him. I'm even gonna pull down a harvester right here just to give me that extra soaking power I need for a second here. Don't want to get it killed, but you know, just repel him a little bit harder. Again, target out those rockets, and that'll keep my BTRs much more alive. So I feel like it's easier to target out rockets and much more effective than it is to try to use your heavy tanks to target BTR. That means you're going to be moving your heavy tanks a lot faster, or a lot more. But after, you know, a little while, I do want that extra heavy armor, so I go back to the heavy tanks. You know, these BTRs have served me well, but I feel like we've transitioned to this game where it's no longer going to end in the next like minute, like he was probably hoping for. It's going to carry on a little longer. He attacks again here, and I see he's got rhino tanks, and I'm like, damn, so he's already up on his doctrine, which is actually pretty important. Probably should have been doing that for this type of game, but I get a nice clean there. His tanks were stuck in the back, which is really good for me. And get up some grenadiers here, just to get some of the pressure off just these big attacks. If we can kill a power plant something and make him sidestep back into his main base, that could be really good. So I load those grenadiers up, transfer one of those harvesters down, probably eventually, probably not. I'm a little busy right now. Yeah, he's pushing again. He's got a pretty big concave here, but I just have more mass, I think. And his tanks are out of position, trying to get mine in position. And yeah, he's slowly getting whittled down here. I think my micro has just been a little bit better. Heavy tanks staying alive just a little bit longer, giving me that much boost. And now I'm pretty stable on eco. Got one of those harvesters long distance mining those gems, which will help too. But yeah, as long as I can keep producing here, keep taking these fights and pretty even engagements, then I'm in a good spot. The only thing I have to worry about is if he's somehow tacked on the back of this, which is totally possible. And then here we go, he's pushing in again, but I have a better concave, just a little bit of angle at this rate. And seeing this is a good time to move in with BTR, find a power plant, perfect. Get those grenadiers in, they'll basically 2-tap that power plant, and you can see, boom. I think this is the first time I realized that he was actually not Russia, he's actually Psychor with a Brute, but you know, Brutes are gonna be okay if you can get him up, but that does mean he has teched up to radar domes, so I have to keep that in mind. But I'm not super worried about radar dome. I'm just gonna leave this BTR here, go for that ref. Just based on where I'm expanding, I'm assuming he's up in the top as well. Expect there to be some sort of defense at his natural expo there, so see a power plant at the top, so cool, I definitely want to kill that. Gotta put him below down. Fortunately, he sold that ref, so those grenadiers were a waste. But now he's for low power. See those brutes trying to run down my infantry in the top, that's fine. I'll just run some of that back and use what's there to already kill his MCV. Got the power already, so you can see he's low power, or at least power down that radar, so. Target everything on the ref, and then like, alright, brutes, I'll just send some rifles after him, start rallying my troops back into the middle. That raider's gonna go down, he's gonna lose his tech. Then I try to turn into him there, but he goes out and calls GG, so it's looking pretty good for me now. It's 3-0 and a best of 7, so I'm on match point next game, and we'll have to come back and see if I can do it.
Establishing battlefield control.
Alright, so we're back here for game 4. This is match point for me. He has gone with Marked, and I have rendered into Scrin, which is somewhat unfortunate because Marked is a very good anti-light faction with the build that I know for Scrin. So Alkalites are going to be a huge problem. Templar, if it goes late game, will be a huge problem. I'll have to change up my tactics a little bit, or just have a good enough engagement that it just doesn't get there. So we are on Onyx. Again, not my favorite map of this one. It's kind of a hard map to play, kind of be very swingy. But I'm just going to send that engineer down to the back and just kind of camp this top oil derrick. Because there's not much really else you can do. It's kind of dangerous to go for engineer after your first one in this early game. He is not, so I am somewhat apprehensive about bikes as well. Got to keep that in the back of my mind. Other than that, it's just going to be my standard Scrin game. Get that nerve center out, get that second portal out, and just spam those tier 2 units. Go in War Factory first again, because I just want to maybe see if I can get some light harass on him while he's trying to bike harass. I know the Seekers are pretty good against bikes if you can get down on them. Gunwalkers obviously a little bit less so, but Seekers are pretty good against buggies as well, as long as you can not run into a whole bunch of them. I can't remember who used to do this on Onyx, but splitting up your infantry like that makes it really easy to deny that oil derrick. Because your opponent will probably see one, kill him, and then you'll be able to run away. But I'm gonna lose my scout in the middle. It's unfortunate, so I'll have to send another one. I really want to try to get and see if he's doing the spikes, especially if he's doing War Factory first. Then by the time that warrior gets there, it should be able to see their spikes. But War Factory is about to come down, so go ahead and be able to place it. Get that Seeker out, just to help scout further if I don't get any with that warrior, and if it does, then that Seeker can just be some light harass for me to cut down on the bikes if I do see where they're going. Got that plasma turret ready too, just in case. So far he hasn't moved up onto that oil derrick, which is nice as well. So got the Seeker coming out. He's just gonna chill in front of more, because that's pretty much all he's gonna attack. See a buggy, so yeah, okay, that's doesn't tell me too much. You could just be scouting with it. Could be prepping that for bikes, because you do that a lot too. Buggy runs into my Seeker, and you can see they trade decently well. Like, they're both light armor, but I just do a little bit more damage to light armor. A little bit more expensive than a Buggy too, so if he gets into a bunch of them, then I'll be in trouble, but it's all good. Come down to this bottom and see if he's try to cap that one. No, it does not, but unfortunately, he's built a bunch of buggies. And my one Seeker cannot handle 3 different buggies. That's a little bit too much for it, but he's focusing here. Get one buggy down, did not get to kill the low health buggy, but that's okay. So he's basically got one buggy and one with a tiny minuscule bit of health. But my eco should stabilize in just a second here. Again, he's running in with the buggies, kills a warrior, but there's not much else to see. I've got more plasma turrets coming. I'm just gonna place them, pretty much expecting there to be bikes at some point now. But I've got my nerve center coming up, and I'm not gonna stall, which is nice. Once it comes out, it should be pretty good. Cancel that harvester, since I don't need a 5th harvester here. I'm just gonna move this MCV out in just a second after I queue up a bunch of these. Thinking about where I want to place that, decide place it by my War Factory just to help shore up the north a little bit better. Thought about placing a portal since it's kind of exposed right now, but it's a lot easier to replace a portal if I lose one than it is to replace the War Factory. Unless I already have 2 out, then it's gonna be more expensive. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Push that warrior back down, and then I decide to just run it all the way around, which is unfortunate. Get a power plant, get a ref going, get another portal going, and it should be good. He's gonna scout here with some bikes or some buggies, that's fine. Then I see the bikes, so alright, cool. He's gonna run right into me, that's fine. He wants to stay there. Then he runs into the top, I kind of see him there, and that power plant is really exposed, and it's gonna go down. That's kind of sucks. Actually, really needed that power plant. It's gonna put me low power now. So I place the plasma turret, and now I have to cancel everything, get that power plant back up. I have to cancel the low power the nerve center. Not a huge problem, but it does suck that I had to cancel that ref to place another power plant. So I'm gonna get that ref out now. I got my nerve center out, so I'm starting to build up my army. I got nothing else to do, just kind of macro up some more. But yeah, as you can see, as soon as I pulled that one warrior away up top, that is exactly what his engineer went there. So had I just kept it there, I could have got the engineer's sight. He's gonna come down here and kill my oil derrick. There's not much I can do about that at all, to be honest. I'm not going to go chasing bikes with a bunch of gun walkers. It's not going to work out well for me. I'd rather just stay in my base, let him try to engage into me, and come off that way. He's going to poke on this portal, but again, I got some stuff there, and he's going to run away. So again, I'm not super scared. Just get that harvester over after it drops the floor. That should be alright. Starting to get into a good number, feeling comfortable about, you know, got my base mostly protected from bikes. Got plasma turrets everywhere, just pretty much spamming at this rate. And that second barracks is almost done, about 7 seconds left. Warrior sees the bikes moving through the middle, and I'm like, okay, you know, if you want to attack there, I got plenty of plasma cannons, I should be alright. Second portal's out now, so we're starting to get into the groove of things. He's poking here, and he's doing the smart thing, just sitting on the field, so I'm gonna have to temporarily pull this harvesters off, but you know, I'm not super worried about it, and I can just rally him down there. And I've got a huge army in the middle, so I should be okay. I'm just using that one plasma turret just to kill his old as well, since it's right there. Might as well. The bike's running into my army in the middle, which is nice for him. It does know that I'm about to push him. Just placing even more plasma turrets, so that is definitely a no-go zone up there. And just trying to get a good concave here, but unfortunately my intruders are in the back there, right as his armor is hitting there, so yeah, I'm a little spread out here. He's got a really good concave, and I do not. All my anti-armor is on the wrong side, all my anti-infantry is on the wrong side. So I'll just try to get as much out of that as I can. I've pretty much lost that battle pretty hastily, pretty easily, and yeah, he's in a good position right now, so this build isn't going so well, so great for me this time. I think it's more of he's just outplayed me than the build's bad, that's for sure. But yeah, he's gonna push in here, and I have 5 plasma turrets now, and as you can see, they're just absolutely wrecking those light tanks. Don't engage into plasma turrets, they will put the fear of God in you, that's for sure. So that was a nice little comeback here, killing a bunch of tanks, but I see he has a huge ball of infantry, but more tanks than I can deal with there, which is unfortunate, because I would have loved to just poke at them. And now that he's got me back and forth, I'm kind of starting to stall. Not exactly great, but should be okay. About that time, I need to expand again. You know, I'm fully saturated, and I'm struggling to build an eco on just some of these 3 things, so maybe without constantly building defenses, I'll be okay. But I really need those defenses. They're the only thing that's probably keeping me alive. One of those harvesters back to the top, and I decided to send the full health one just in case he does have bikes somewhere. I don't know if I killed them all in that last little engagement. Want to make sure I screened for my colony ship, just in case he does have that army rotating over there, but it looks like I'm free. Get another ref, power plant, and then check into tier 3. Tier 3 would be pretty good against Nod. Just the Annihilators will wreck, you know, the light armor that he's going to have, so it's one of the few times that I think tripods will really excel, is when you're up against like a tier 2 Nod. But if he goes into cyborgs, then I'll have to try to change up my tactics, or like the Acolytes and the Templars, which I'm expecting to, will probably be much worse against the tripod than they would against its composition, so setting up here for a nice little flank. Unfortunately, he's got a rifle there, so I just instantly retreat. But the way he's playing, I'm sure that his army is close by behind. At the same time, you know, I've got my rallies down here in the middle, so I can maybe try to split him again. It seems to be working out pretty well for me these last few games. Just splitting and giving him the run around. But other than that, it's just building more light armor. Like, Leechers here aren't going to be very effective, Devourers aren't going to be very effective, so see that he's still there in the middle, so I'm just going to pull back. Saw that he was running through the middle, that there was nothing there. There is a few more bikes, so I'll just leave a few of that to deal with that. Kill off the bikes, lose 3 gun rockers, it's going to be okay. Just retreat behind my defenses, place another plasma cannon up there. Then I heard the laser sound, so I know that he's at tier 2, so Acolytes are going to be a huge problem now. I'm going to have to be very careful with my engagements. My gun walkers are kind of melt under them. Abus is down here at the bottom, and I'm just kind of trying to run down this harvester. Kill the laser turret, since that's more of the problem. And you can see that Rangers do a really good number against that harvester. Yeah, looks like he's not there, except for with a few units, so there's the Acolytes. Try to get my gun walkers to force fire on him. And realize that unfortunately he's just already up here in the top. Kind of missed this. Gonna have to retreat, and losing this expansion is gonna hurt. And yeah, my attack at the bottom did get his ref, which is nice. I'm not sure if I got the harvesters. I realized that the gunwalkers aren't going to cut anymore, not with these acolytes out there, so I'm going to have to go back into interlopers. I'm getting a decent engagement here, you know. I killed off a lot of his infantry so far. I'm trying to use those gunwalkers to run down his infantry, kill the rockets, but he's definitely overran me here. Those intruders are doing a really good job of killing those light tanks, but he's still got enough infantry mass to just push through there. So it's looking pretty bleak for me here. I basically got a handful of army left. Trying to micro out as best I can here, get those intruders focusing on the low health tanks, but yeah, he's pushed through. My colony ship is in trouble. This Plaza Panda is a little too close, and it's going to go down pretty much instantly, not get the value it really wanted. And then I see that he's poking in here, but that's alright, until I see a whole bunch of light tanks. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I got nothing left. So I go ahead and call it GG, and yeah, he definitely outplayed me there, picking Legion against Scrin, or I guess lucking into having a Scrin as I rolled is really good, but Legion is super strong. He played this really well. Those acolytes were definitely going to deal with counter what I deal with Scrin, and I don't really know any other Scrin compositions really, so perfectly played there. And now the pressure is on because we all know my reputation, so we'll jump into game 5. Alright, so we're back here for game 5. I rendered into Shadow this time. Strongbird picked Legion, so it's going to be a Nob mirror. Different sub-factions though. We're on Krakow, and I deliberately picked this map. I noticed that Strongbird, every time he played this map, he went for War Factory first, and he did one engineer just to this back line over there, so he did it so consistently that I was like, I think he's going to do it 100% against me here, so I'm going to rally for like 5 rifles up there, see if I can deny that old Eric, and then if I do that, knowing that he's gone War Factory first, I should be able to claim at least 3 of the 4 old Erics pretty easily, and that would be a huge boost to my eco, and I'll be able to power through after that. So I sent those early rifles there, and then I'm going to send them straight to across the old Eric, make sure it doesn't have anything there. You know, there's always that chance. Don't have to worry about dogs since he's Legion. I'm not sure if Shadow or Legion has a clear like advantage. Shadow is super annoying to deal with. Maybe as not, they're a little bit more annoying to deal with since you have a bunch of light armor stuff. Legion having access to the battle tank over the light tank maybe is an advantage there, but I'm not super sure. I feel like both these are pretty evenly. And there you go, I do see those rifles there. Don't want to run into those barrels, so I run away from them and kill it, but it looks like indeed that's what he was indeed doing, so he's basically out, what is it, like 500 that he probably spends on the rifles and 400 for the engineer. Until the engineer finds something to cap, he's basically just down that. I've got one old Eric now. I got my second ref out, and the other engineer will go up and decap that top, so I'm a little slow on building my airstrip right now. I'm busy connecting everything and I realized, oh, I forgot to clear that up. That's okay. Probably like, what, 20 seconds I'm behind there. Not the greatest thing in the world, but not something that I can't overcome. So he sends the rifle into the bottom, sees that I got that cap, and that's fine. After he does that, I'm just gonna try to cut down these other ones, see if I can get there before he can. If his engineer did go to the top, which I'm expected did, he shouldn't be able to get to the bottom before I get there, so yeah, he's not too, so he doesn't have like a heavy armor unit, so a bunch of rifles should be more than enough to deal with a bunch of buggies. Unless he builds like a whole ton of them, like 10 of them. Yeah, sure, I'm not gonna be able to deal with that. Kill another rifle scout there, and just kill those barrels, so he's not gonna be there. Getting that old Eric at the top, and I got this third engineer coming in. Airstrip's out, gonna get a harvester, and then pump out those light tanks. See that he's gone with a APC here, which I guess could have been a huge problem for me if he did start pushing those rifles early. Maybe would have been a problem, but I do have a bunch of rifles, so that APC probably wouldn't have the staying power that it really wants. So I expect that engineer is in that APC, and he's probably decapped there, so he runs through, and as you can see, like, that APC, it's heavy armored, but those rifles in that amount are dealing with it. So I got a laser turret ready just in case he's doing some sort of rocket drop, but I cancel it because I'm starting to stall a little bit. Fixing those harvesters a little bit since they're not microing as efficiently as I want. APC comes back in, and he does have a few buggies, but I just have a really big concave, and that APC just did not provide the power that it really needed. It goes down, he kills all my rockets, but he loses 3 buggies and an APC for basically 3 rockets, so I'm definitely trading it well so far. Part of getting my expansion up. We're looking like we're in good shape right now. You know, the nerves after that last game aren't overwhelming me or anything. I'm still feeling pretty comfortable here. Just making sure that he did indeed cap that one, and if he did, you know, it's fine. I can go down and kill it later, or just decap it since it's going to be pretty close to my MCV. Get that expansion out. Thinking about maybe a head and nod afterwards. And I go, nah, I should probably do communication center first. And I just think different on it, and I'm second guessing myself a little bit. But he's got more buggies coming out, which is a little curious. I've got one just to kind of scout with me. Built that engineer just to decap it. He's gonna go up there and kill that one. I'm thinking, you know, maybe he's got an engineer coming, so maybe I can go run it down for my buggy. But see that he's got 4 buggies again. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's a lot of buggies, but I've got 2 light tanks, so you don't run engage into me. I don't think you really can engage into me. Those darn pieces of Tiberium just get in the way of cleanly placing that raft, but it is what it is. So I'm building that second Rax, you know, before radar. Radar for Nod isn't gonna do too much. Like, I'm not gonna build Apaches unless he's like heavily investing into like bikes or something like that. But even then, I don't think I'd want to build Apaches for spikes. So he's got, what is that, 6 buggies right there? That's quite a lot of buggies, and it's not gonna do much to my composition at all. Like, if he catches the infantry on a move command, sure, but with the light tanks, as long as they're in decent position, I should be okay. I'm just placing those medium tanks in the front. I want to keep that barracks close to my other production structures so they're all pretty similar to each other. Just run that buggy away. Don't want it to die. It's actually been a really good scout for me. Unfortunately, it dies. Place a plasma turret there just to see. Or I guess it's a laser turret technically, but unfortunately, I got caught a little bit out of position there. I don't want to scare those buggies off the light tanks, so they kind of turn into them. So he's only got 2 bikes and 1 battle tank there. You know, I'm thinking if I can target that battle tank down, I actually might be able to take that engagement because I got the 2 light tanks there. The battle tank goes down, but then the buggies come in and they get cleaned up. So I'm not sure who traded better there. Probably him by a little bit more, but you know, I'm okay right now. I've got 5 more light tanks coming up with the double racks. It should be starting to swell up in army value. Going up to tier 2, and then I'm gonna expand again after another ref because I really need that eco. He's gonna poke on that old Derek. I tried to kill that barrels since he was next to, but unfortunately got away with it. But so yeah, we're up 3 old Dereks to 0 for him, so that's nice. Poking him pretty hard right here, and he decides to go in, but I just don't think he has the mass to deal with me. He's losing his buggies on the bottom. And the rear crushing in CA, they just don't see too much. I'm trying to do it, but no luck there. But unfortunately for him, his tank's a little bit out of position, and my tank's just barely eke through. So I'm finally starting to trade more efficiently than him. Got that expansion out, and I'll expand again. Yeah, I think he's starting to crumble a little bit. You know, that last engagement really did not go well for him. This extra racks that I'm having has been helping me out a lot. Just keep that army replenished. Think about going into Helipad because I thought for a minute I was Legion and Venoms would do pretty good, but then I realized I'm Shadow and they're definitely not going to be. So got all my Qs out in the middle since I'm going to start being aggressive now that I have the advantage. And then yeah, just kill the barrels because I don't want to run into him. I don't know how many times I've been the one to do that, but I've got a pretty big number here. Just gonna push down, make sure he's not gonna attack my expansion. Don't want to lose my MCV. That could be a very bad move. Picks that harvester from going to the furthest possible tib piece it could go to, and get those ones kind of spread out a little bit more. Just kind of split up my army here. You know, I've got a decent number on the bottom. Don't need all that. I'm always just dragging that one extra unit that I hate, but kind of fix it a little bit. Get another airstrip out, so I'll be at 2 and 2. That'll be really good. See that a bike there, so I see that he's got me. That's cool. I'll just pull that army back now. Let this top army move into position a little bit better. I'm sure that he's anticipating an attack here, which he absolutely should be. But the only thing he really needs to do is just keep an eye on it, and I don't know if bikes have better vision. See those bikes on the top, which is really lucky, because I don't think I have too lot of defenses on my backside, but at the same time, I'm kind of rolling. You know, I've got infantry production everywhere, I've got vehicle production everywhere, so bikes shouldn't be too much of a threat for me. I'm not sure, and especially if they actually get away with it, but Here comes a big engagement in the top. And I see he's got quite a lot there, so that means I'll go in on the bottom. And yep, reaction yet from him yet, so I'll probably kill this hospital. Just retreat all my units on the left on the top. Try to kill the second harvester if I can, but it's clear that he was death blind on the top, so I should be able to just clean up his base in the bottom, and he's going to be in a very, very poor position afterwards. See that if there's anything else coming, but there is not until the rest of his army arrives. So I've killed off the bottom half of his base. That's cool. And now I'm just going to go back in on the top. Thought about using it there, but no. Saw there was a ledge there. Use it up on top. See his MCVs. That's great. And now we're going to have a big fight here. And again, his tanks are just a little out of position. A little too thin on his infantry count there. Maybe the extra racks make a big difference there, but push in, and now his MCV is under threat. He goes and calls it GG, so that is going to be it. I managed to not lose in the finals for once, and it happens in Combined Armor of all things. But it was a pretty fun series. I know that after I played Eno in the semifinals, I sent him like a message a day later, and I was like, hey, don't play Strongberg until like you're more practice, because I want a proper rematch, but also I'm very scared of Strongberg. It was like probably like a month before I ended up playing him. I was out with some people, had a few beers, came back just like, you know, a little tipsy, decided to log into Combined Arms, and he jumped on and just like absolutely demolished me for like 5 games straight. It was just like I could do nothing. So maybe that was just a little bit of being tipsy and not playing it properly, playing like moods. But yeah, after those games I was like, if I play this guy, there's no way I'm winning. So I did not expect to win the series. I don't know how I pulled it out, but I did. So yeah, I can say I won the 2024 Combined Arms tournament, and that's a first. So that's going to be it for Combined Arms in review, and I will see you all next time.